Hi, my name is Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm the author of Eat, Pray, Love and Big Magic and City of Girls and some other books. I was fortunate enough to have met Ruth in 2002 when I was a young writer, and I met her at a ceremony for the National Book Awards. I will never forget the experience of listening to Ruth Stone describe to me what it felt like for her as a young girl to be outside in the fields, in nature, and to quite suddenly feel a poem coming upon her. She said it sounded like horses galloping across the hills, coming at her physically, and that it would move through her body. And at that point, she would run as fast as she could to the house to try to grab a piece of paper and a pencil and try to catch the poem as it was passing through her body. And that sometimes she'd be able to, and sometimes she wouldn't. She wouldn't get to the paper in time, and the poem would have run its course through her and gallop across the landscape, as she said, looking for another poet. And sometimes, and this is the part that was so magical, she said she would almost grasp the poem, and then it would move through her and she would grab it, she said, by the tail, and she would pull it backwards into her body as she was writing it down from the last word backwards to the first. She was a mystic. She was a mystic, and I don't mind using that word because I don't think she would have minded it. I only had that short encounter with her, but it was life-changing, as it would be if you were a young creative person and you met a genuine mystic. So I have a great debt of gratitude to Ruth Stone, and it is greatly to my pleasure right now to be able to read a poem of hers, which is called Fragrance, and is very similarly about what she told me on that day when I met her in 2002. So here it is, Fragrance by Ruth Stone. Edna St. Vincent Millay, her friends called her Vincent, lived for a time in New York in the Village. E. E. Cummings lived there too, and even I was living then, but in the Midwest, in Indianapolis. Then my father, sitting at his linotype machine, the hot lead slugs clicking and falling, would sometimes print a poem of mine, something he found around the house. Poems came to me as if from far away. I would feel them coming. I would rush into the house looking for a paper and pencil. It had to be quick, for they passed through me and were gone forever. What are children's poems? Like the sudden breeze that pulls the petals from the honeysuckle. Much later, when I lived in the Village, E. E. Cummings was a faint legend. Poets come and go, like squills that bloom in the melting snow. Thank you so much.